Hope y'all having a blessed and marvelous day. Um, I wanted to come on here right quick and do a little short podcast. I want to apologize in advance if you hear any extra noise because I am driving. Um, I decided to do a podcast while I'm driving because I just have to say this. I have to get this off my chest. So, and plus it's about to rain. So if you hear a lot of noise, I do apologize. Let me make sure my radio is turned all the way off. Everything's good. I got my air conditioner on low so y'all can't hear that. Hopefully, the only thing y'all might hear is the rain, my clicker, and you might hear me fussing because these people out here can't drive. So, let me give y'all a quote. So today, actually, before I'm moving too fast, today's title is Moving Away for Your Safety and Peace. Okay? I got a quote for this, y'all. So I found this and I like it. It says, stay away from people who can't take responsibility for their actions and who I'm a little off. And who make you feel bad for being angry at them when they do you wrong. Y'all. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna put my phone up on my little thing. Okay, I'm back. I put the phone on my phone holder and the whole video got shut off. Okay. So, let me try this again. Hopefully y'all can hear me. I'm gonna talk as loud as I possibly can. Okay, so the first thing I want to tell y'all before I even get into before I even get into talking about moving away for your safety and your peace, I need to tell y'all, because like I said, I'm gonna be my authentic self and I'm gonna tell y'all everything, whether it's embarrassing, hard to say or whatever. I'm gonna tell it to y'all anyway. So before I even tell y'all about me and my family moving away, I got to tell you where we used to live. Okay? Me and my husband and my children used to live a house away. Oh, who dropped that? That's not good. A house away from my in-laws. My narcissistic in-laws were my neighbors. Did y'all hear that? Yes, it's embarrassing to say, but I mean, you live, you learn, right? So, yeah, my narcissistic in-laws were my neighbors. That's the worst thing you can do, okay? I know a lot of people dream about, oh, I forgot to drop that off. Oh, goodness. Okay, I know a lot of people dream about being close to their in-laws, and that's people that might have great in-laws. Because like I've said before, when I talk about my in-laws, I don't expect everybody to understand my story because some people have great in-laws. Unfortunately, majority of us didn't get good in-laws. Or you have the people who have a good father-in-law, but their mother-in-law is not good. Or they'll have a good mother-in-law and the father-in-law, and and vice versa. So I'm not speaking about every in-law on this earth, because I can tell you from experience. I have someone in my life, I have people in my life, and this person is really near and dear to me, and her mother-in-law loves her with every fiber in her being, and I wish that I had that. Man, that would be nice if my mother-in-law loved me like that. You know what I'm saying? Had my back and everything. Then things would be different. But everybody's story is different. So, I mean, we can all say what we wish we had, but everybody's story is going to be different. And whatever's God's will is what's going to be. Some of us don't have, our parents. Some of us don't have. You're always going to have one thing that is good, and then you're going to have things that you wish that, you know, like for me, I have amazing family, close family that's in my little circle, but I don't have the best in-laws, you know, and I wish I did, but I don't. They don't like me, and there's nothing I can do. I can't change that. For my husband, it's the opposite. His parents are no good, but he has the best in-laws. You know what I'm saying? My family is very respectful of him and love him. The family that I'm close with. We're not talking about all family. But the family that's in my inner circle, they treat him like gold. My mom, you know, treat him like gold. You know, my dad, just my inner circle treat him like gold. They give him respect. And I wish I had that, but you know, you win some, you lose some. You know, because you got to think about it. It's always somebody with it worse than you. You can, there can be a person out here on this earth who their in-laws and their family is terrible to them. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's always got it worse. So when I talk about in-laws and stuff, I know I'm not going to reach a lot of people because some people have amazing in-laws. Unfortunately, I didn't. But I can tell you one thing for you guys who don't have good in-laws, please don't move next to them. Oh my gosh, this is the worst thing that me and my husband could, and mind you, I'm putting my husband on blast. This was his doing, right? Because we lived in the house. For our first, when we moved in together, we lived in the house. Normally, when people first move in together, they live in an apartment, right? Well, we had a house, okay? And he knew the people because they had been neighbors for years or whatever. He knew them. The rent was cheap. They actually gave me and my husband a discounted rent for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. 2 full baths at that, not a half a bath, 2 full baths. So they actually gave us a decent price. And that's a story for another time. But anyways, moving on. The worst thing you can do is move next to your narcissistic in-laws. When I tell you they will watch you and you make it easier for them to make your life miserable because you live right by them. Okay, man, I was trying to beat this rain, but it don't look like I'm gonna be able to do that since I got a little far to drive. That was the worst, man. I mean, it was the worst, and they felt not. I'm not even gonna say they felt. They had more control by us being so close. More control over my husband. I think I told y'all before, he's the scapegoat child. Okay. Everything was put on to him. You know, he was supposed to make the family look good. They blamed him for everything is his fault. They abused him. You know, he's the scapegoat child, okay? So that was up their alley for us to move. And mind you, we moved into this house before I really even found out who my in-laws truly were. Like, I knew who the sister-in-law was. Well, not the narcissistic part. Okay, like I said, I didn't learn about narcissism until I was 28 years old. I'm not going to tell you how old I am now. But, man, that's the worst thing you can do. They're going to watch you. They're going to be messy, especially with the grandchildren, because they will be watching out the window. And my mom used to come over every day, and here comes the rain. My mom used to come over every day because her grandchildren, me and her grandchildren and her son-in-law were her life. So she would come over every day. She done made the girls something to eat. You know, she'd make us something to eat. Whatever it is, my mom did whatever needed to be done. If I needed rest from working, you know, she would take care of the girls for me. So, of course, the in-laws are watching, right? They live exactly next door. They're just one house over. So I, that is how they had a lot of control, because they could see everything that's happening. They know when my husband's coming home, blah 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 blah. And one of the things they would use against me is like the grandchildren. We lived right across from these people. They never even, like, come on, man. You don't even check on the children. They right next door. But you want to start mess and confusion because you see my mother is doing her job as a great grandmother. And I don't mean as a good grandma. She's doing her job, and you want to start some confusion. So you want to text my husband or call my husband to come over there to have a discussion without me, so that I can defend myself. Have a discussion talking about, well, I don't think it's fair that her mother gets to see the kids all the time and she keeps the kids from us, and we care about the kids, and blah 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 this and blah 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 that, which was not true. Y'all weren't calling. And guess what? Let me tell y'all something. I can't wait to see, I'm trying to do everything in parts so I don't miss any part of the story, so you understand exactly how I got to the place I am now, where I'm at peace and I'm far away from these people. My husband did, like, after a while, a narcissist can only lie for so long because they're not consistent. Oh, look at all these people here. Oh my gosh, y'all. That's why, oh my gosh. Where I live, it's so many people. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It makes me miss where I used to live, just because it was a little less people. So when you go to stores and stuff, they're not always packed. Now, Walmart, yeah, that's always packed. Sam's, all that stuff. But these regular stores don't always be packed. So this is the only part I think that irritates me, besides the point that these people can't drive to save their life. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, my husband did find out, and I can't wait to tell y'all about that, because God works, man. I don't care what the devil do. The devil be working, God be working too. Don't get it twisted. God has made a way for me. Like I said, my in-laws have said I'm the devil and a liar and this, that, and other, and it never really mattered to me what nobody else thought about me. After a while, all I cared about was if my husband believes who I am or not. So for me, pick my phone up now because I'm parked. For me, it really didn't matter about nobody else but what my husband thought about me. That's all that mattered, because that's the person that I'm in a marriage with. That's it. So my husband did find out the truth, y'all. See, the narcissists tell on themselves, man. They're not consistent. They're not consistent. They're going to tell on themselves. That's part of their MO. They write on themselves. They lie so much they can't keep up with their own lies. But back to what I was saying. Yeah, man, don't ever, ever in your life. I'm telling y'all, don't do it. Don't do it. Please don't. Don't do it to yourself. My husband thought it would be a good idea. It was the worst. And I don't know. For me, I feel like it was the worst on me, because us being so close to them helped them to play a lot of games and cause a lot of confusion between me and my husband. I can tell you, majority of the fights, heck, if not all of the fights, the arguments that me and my husband had, it had to do something with them. You know what I'm saying? It had to do something with everything we argued about. We didn't argue because, oh, maybe my husband left his socks on the floor. You know what I'm saying? We didn't argue because, oh, the bills or something like that. It was always them. Every argument we had something to do with them. And I'm talking about all of them. I'm not just talking about my mother-in-law and my father-in-law. Like I said, my husband, I married a man whose entire family is a family full of narcissistic people. And it's only maybe 1 or 2 or 3 people that are not narcissistic, that have been abused in this family themselves. So, man, I mean, don't do it, y'all. That was the worst. Like I said, I was stuck in that for, I say 9 years. I want to say 9 years. I want to say 9 years at the house. It might have been 8 years. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But let me count it on my finger. Hold on. Let me see. 8 years. 8.5. We lived in that house. And that was the worst 8.5 years of my life. That was the worst 8.5 years of my life. You have to understand, like, the worst thing you can do is move close to them. It's not going to help you, especially when they're trying to destroy your marriage. It's not going to help you. It's not going to make them love you. It's not going to get better. Okay? These people are, all they out to do is destroy. So please, y'all, no matter what you do, or if you do live close to them and you just found out that they are narcissistic, please, 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 please tell them. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. All right, sorry about that, guys. Somebody came to my car that wanted to tell me about their ministry. And God bless him. He was very nice. Usually when people come up to your car, some of them, when he's like, oh no, some of them are very rude, but he was very nice. So, and he's standing in the rain, y'all. Hold on, let me, he's standing in the rain, out here telling people about God. Now that is some motivation. Okay? Yeah, y'all, like I was saying, man, don't do it. If you live close to your in-laws right now and they're making your life miserable, you need to sit down with your spouse. First of all, you and your spouse need to have an understanding. You know, pray and then have a conversation with them. If they're not willing to hear what you have to say, I don't want to say let it go. I want to say keep praying and keep working on it if you want to keep your marriage. I'm saying that because my husband, he's not a narcissist, but he is scapegoat child. And yes, he had traits of narcissism. But once he started learning what narcissism was, he was like, oh man, I've been doing that because my family does it. So when I argue, like, you grow up in the family and they argue or they're toxic all the time, you start to pick up those traits and stuff, and saying things that they would say in an argument because you don't know no better. If you're not taught how to argue in a healthy manner, or anything for that matter in a healthy manner, you're not going to display that in your own marriage or your relationships, So I don't want to tell anybody to leave their marriage. That's not for me to do. I'm a firm believer in God does not like when you tell people to leave their marriage. You need to mind your business. But I know for me, I've had to have those tough conversations with my husband. And he is a scapegoat child and he's still healing and stuff. And my husband made the decision that even though he loves his family, you can't respect my family that I've created. You want me to leave my wife and my children. You want me to make my wife and my children miserable. You want me to be miserable, because how can your family say they love you, but they're not rooting for your happiness? Your only happiness in their mind is you're supposed to be happy with me. I'm your mother. I'm your father. I'm your sister. I'm your brother. Nobody can make you happier than I can. How can you tell someone you love them if you're not going to, accept that they're happy and accept their happiness? That's what healthy parents do. But he decided, he loves his parents, and that's understandable. I've never, if my husband would have told me, I don't care about my parents, I don't love my parents, I would side-eye him, because then I'd be like, okay, hold up. I think you do have some narcissism going on in you, sir, because empathetic person, a person who actually has a heart and is not narcissistic, wouldn't say anything like that. So yeah, he loves his family, man, and Put yourself in his shoes if you're going through that or have been through that. You love your family. That's what you're born into. And it's your mother and your father. Of course, you're going to love them. And like he said, I love my family, but I cannot deal with them. They don't love me the way I love them. And he had to accept that. And every day I see him take a piece of his power back. He's getting stronger and stronger. I've been there for it all. I've been there for him when he's been emotional wreck about it. I've been there to hold his head while he cries about it. Like, y'all have to understand, that's I talk about my pain and what they did to me. But when it comes down to my husband, I put myself in his shoes because I know his pain is worse than mine. Because my parents loved me. Okay? My parents love me, right? And I don't have narcissistic parents. And my parents will bend over backwards for me, right? Right? So I didn't have that growing up. I didn't grow up in a household where my family was narcissistic and it was so much abuse and stuff. So I back up sometimes and I don't even concern him about my pain. I sit there and I listen to him and I stand there with him and I hold on to him and you know, talk to him and show him that it's going to be okay, because that's hurtful when your parents are still alive and you're mourning them because they don't give a damn about you, and the only way they're going to accept you into their lives, including your sister and this that, and the only way they're going to accept you into their lives is if you get rid of your happiness, which is your wife and your kids. If you divorce your wife, that's the only way. And they've told him this. They want him to let me go. They say I'm controlling this man. I don't control nothing but myself. See, this is the thing about them. They want to make me the bad guy. And I want to save this part for my other podcast, but let me tell y'all something. I gave my husband a choice, no matter how much it hurt me. I called my husband one day and I said, I have to give you a choice because I have to do this for me. Whether I'm living life without you or not, I have to do this for me. I know what God has for me, but God won't release those things onto me, those blessings, until I let go. So I'm giving you, you know, whatever decision makes you happy. You can either I gave him the choice. It's either you be with me and the girls, or you go and be with your family. It's whatever makes you happy. And if you decide to go to be with your family, then we can co-parent, but they cannot be around my children. And after I got off the phone with him, y'all, I cried. I screamed because I was driving. I was on my way to training for work. And I screamed and I cried because I love my husband. My children love their dad. But I refuse to let my children and myself be involved in this any longer, getting hurt, being abused. And if that meant that my husband decided that he wants to stay with his family, then that's just what it had to be. Because I had to put myself out of the equation and stop being selfish and realize that I can't control his awakening. These people had so much control on him that I told God, I don't know if I can help him. I don't know what to do. I can't help him. It just I hated to say that to him. But I needed to be happy, man. I felt like I was dying. The sicknesses I had, y'all, that have disappeared, thank God. The headaches and stuff. I mean, I got migraines every day. I felt like I was dying. And that's another podcast that I'll be doing. But I felt like I was dying, man. I couldn't take it no more. I was always in fight or flight mode. I didn't recognize myself in the mirror anymore. I didn't know who the hell I was. I couldn't do it. Sometimes love is not enough, man. You love your spouse. I know you do, but sometimes that's not enough, because if it's killing you, it's not worth it. And I got to be here for my children. I can't be dying from stress and anxiety and, and all these things. I can't. And narcissistic abuse, I cannot. These children need me. If I'm not around, then what happens to them? That was my main thoughts. So it was a major surprise when my husband was like, I'm sticking with my family. And he tried for a long time to talk to his parents and stuff, and try to understand what was their hatred towards me. And they never could give him a answer. He tried. And many times I used to get mad. Why would you tell them anything about how I feel? Because I would talk to him about how I feel, how it hurt me, how it bothered me, how I actually cared about my narcissistic in-laws. I actually had a heart for them. I actually gave a damn about them. And it hurt me that they didn't give a damn, but they cared about everybody. And it's not really care, because narcissistic people don't care about nobody. But this is before I knew what narcissism was. They would show love and affection to people who were toxic like them, but they would kick me in my butt. And I would bend over backwards for them. So that hurt. That tore me up. And you don't care about my children? They're innocent. These kids have done nothing to y'all, but you treat them like they're a damn option. You don't care. When this goddamn, I don't even know if I could say that word, but when this sickness was going around and killing all these people, you didn't even call and check on my children, because you don't give a damn about them. And then when my husband brings it up, you have an excuse. You blame it on me. Well, she doesn't answer the phone. How can I answer the phone if you don't call? And then when you do call, you call at times that you know I'm not going to answer the phone. Why are you calling my phone at 12 o'clock midnight? When you know I work and have children and we in the bed. Why are you calling my phone at 5 o'clock in the morning? You're calling at hours that you know I'm not going to answer the phone. So you can go tell everybody she didn't answer the phone. I called. No respect for me. You know what I'm saying? Okay, sorry guys. Okay, so I paused so I can run up in the store and get what I needed right quick and come out, because the rain had slowed down a little bit. I didn't bring a raincoat, and I don't know if my umbrella... Oh, it is in here. I just didn't want to get all super soaked, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so yeah, like I said, being that close to them gave them opportunity to try to ruin us even more. Like, that's the worst thing that you can do. Let's see, is put yourself in that position, especially when you're married to a scapegoat child, whether it be female or male. That's the worst position you can put yourself into, especially if their parents have a lot of control over them. Because of course the scapegoat child is always trying to please the non-worthy parents, okay? So my husband, they raised him to think that family is everything, and family is everything, but that's when your family is healthy, not toxic, not narcissist, okay? So he believed that, and another thing, his parents are sickly, okay? They're sickly. So they use that to their advantage. So in my husband's mind, even though they are irritating him and getting on his nerves and abusing him and stuff, he thinks he's doing what he's supposed to do. And then here comes religion. They're constantly telling him that if he don't take care of them and he don't, deal with his family and stuff like that, that God's going to get him. God's going to be upset with him. God's not going to bless him. So he's got all these things flowing through his mind, man. So it really played a lot on him. So like I said, they had control. That is part of their control, making you feel like the world revolves around them. They're your parents. We're sick, so you're supposed to take care of us. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't take care of us, God is going to punish you. They turned God into this monster that like I said, I don't believe in that God. I don't know what God y'all worship, but it ain't the God I know. They turned him into this monster that's out for blood. And as soon as you do something wrong, he's going to kill you. You know what I'm saying? So I got my clicker on. I hope that it's not bothering y'all. What's my next part? So that, yeah, us being that close gave them more opportunity to try to ruin me and my husband, and they almost had us. You know what I'm saying? They almost had us. But if it wasn't for God, and it had to been God. It had to been God. If it wasn't for God intervening and hearing my prayers, because I prayed many nights, I've cried many nights. And right when I started to really give up and say, you know what, this isn't working, you know, I was giving up, my prayers aren't being heard. That's right around the time God was like, well, let me show you something. And that's how I put it. That's when God was like, nope, that ain't how I want it. Because I was telling God how it was going to be. I told God, hey, I'm out. Your son don't want to act right. I married this man. I thought he was the one. He wants to listen to his family. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can't have your cake and eat it too with me. You're not going to sit here and I love you, wife, but then you believe everything they say when it's lies, and I'm telling you that it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not dealing with it. And right when I was like, God, I'm out. I'm about to tell him I'm done. I can't take it no more. I throw in the towel. God did some things that switched it up real quick. And I'm gonna talk about that on another podcast. I know I keep telling y'all on another. I try to stick to one subject at a time to show y'all my experience and my journey. I don't even like calling it a journey, but it is my experience and my journey of going through narcissistic abuse with my in-laws. So I'm pulling up to the next store, y'all, but I'm gonna try to finish this podcast before I go in this store because I don't want to be too long on y'all. I just wanted to make a quick one about moving away for your peace and your safety. Do they have a parking space for me? Yeah, they do. Good. Look at God. He done made me a parking space. Normally when I come out and it's a lot of people like it is out today, I can't find parking for nothing. But I found me a parking space. Won't it do it? Okay. Hold on. So things happen, and I was embarrassed, y'all. I was embarrassed living that close to my in-laws. It's embarrassing, especially when people are like your friends and stuff. They're like, your in-laws live right across the street. After you done told your friends about how treacherous your in-laws are, and they're like, are you crazy? I was embarrassed because I kept trying to put it in my husband's head over and over. We need to move. We need to move. We need to get away. We need to move. We need to get away. And it wasn't working. And it frustrated me. It pissed me off. It had me furious because he kept saying, no, this is the only place. Because, of course, his parents would be in his ear. No, y'all don't need to move. You're not going to find a better place for... Man, we could have got a 1-bedroom, even with our children, and been the hell... I'd rather live in a sugar shack all the way away from them. Do y'all hear me? Like, really? I'd rather live in my car than to deal with the foolishness that I had to deal with. And that's some honesty right there. So I begged, and I just got tired of it. I started going to my mama's house, sleeping at my mama's house. My mama was a traveler, so whenever she would go out of town or whatever, I'd be like, I'll babysit the house. The house don't even need to be sat. You know what I'm saying? She had a dog at one point, and I'll be like, no, you don't have to take the dog with you. I'll sit, me and the girls, just to get the heck away from them people, man. Seriously. Like, oh my gosh, y'all just don't know. Y'all just don't know. Please don't move around your narcissist. If you know your in-laws are narcissists, or you know they're toxic, because for me there's a big difference between toxic and narcissism. I'm sorry. It's a big thing, because I believe people, I used to be a toxic person, and the reason I say that is to say this: I changed. So I do believe people that are unhealed and toxic, they can heal and get better and do better and be a better person. As far as narcissism, no. I do not believe that a person would not, Jesus would have to come down himself and knock the narcissism out of a narcissist for you to say that they've really changed and they're a better person. And we need to see it. I don't even want the narcissist to say, oh well, Jesus got that. I don't even believe you. This needs to be video recorded. We need to be there. Okay, I don't believe in narcissistic people changing. My in-laws don't change because they don't believe that they've done anything wrong. They will tell you, I didn't do nothing to you. I'm not wrong. You're wrong. They really believe, like I said, my father-in-law says it all the time. He knows he going to heaven. He know. He going to heaven, honey. He say it all the time. They don't believe that they've done anything wrong, man. Nothing. They believe that they, in their minds, and they say this all the time, that God is leading them to do the things that they do. And I reckon with them all the time, that's not God, baby. That's not God. Because God is not the author of confusion. So God is not going to tell you to do things that are going to cause confusion. Hello. But they believe that they are the good guys. And they are blessed. And they are anointed. My father-in-law says all the time, when somebody tells him something about himself, or tell him he wrong, he says, God said, touch not my anointed. And if you do wrong to me, he gonna get you. I mean, that's just how they feel. They don't feel like they do nothing wrong. You tell them they need to apologize, they're gonna say, what I need to apologize for? They need to apologize. Just like my husband's sister, he told his parents that she needs to apologize to him and me for disrespecting us. She said, what I need to apologize to him for, he needs to apologize to me. Why does my husband need to apologize to you for taking up for his wife? Why does my husband need to apologize for you for putting up boundaries? Why? Why does anybody have to apologize to the narcissist when they are the one in the wrong? They feel like you owe them an apology for not putting up with their mess. So yeah, I made a lot of excuses for my husband because I was embarrassed, and people ask me all the time. He knows what you're going through. All this stuff is happening. Why won't he move away? And the funny part is, I used to tell him, I say, you don't want to move? You keep listening to them? I'm going to tell you like this. God is going to do something, and he's going to force you to move. And that's exactly what happened. We were forced to make decisions that we didn't want to make. We didn't have a choice. And that's when everything started happening. That's when I started getting therapy. That's when my spiritual awakening started happening. Honey, when God said it's time for you to move in his will, when he says it's time for you to do the things that he needs for you to do, you don't have to move. He'll move you. Okay? You can put glue on your butt and stick yourself to a wall. God gonna snatch you right off that wall, and he's gonna put you where he wants you to be. Period. So when that happened, like I said, they use that as a tool to destroy me even more, man. I'm telling y'all, just don't do it, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. You know, they knew my every move. They knew when I left the house. They knew if I had people at the house. Don't do it, man. It's terrible. Just don't live next to your toxic or narcissistic in-laws. Just don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. And if your spouse wants to do it, tell them they crazy and you ain't moving. You rather live in a shoe shack somewhere. Okay? Tell them you rather live with your parents. Tell them you rather live in what can I say, in the homeless shelter before you move next or anywhere close enough for them to come knock on your door. Do you understand? I'm so serious about this. Guys, when we first moved into our house, and remember I told you they're religious narcs. So they in church 24/7. You understand? On Sundays, while we up in there getting ready, we would hear banging at the door. Boom, 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 boom. We had a doorbell. We have a doorbell. Y'all don't know how to press a doorbell? You take your finger, your pointed finger, and you put it on the doorbell and you push it one, maybe two times, and then you let it go and you wait for the person to answer the door if they're home, right? We would hear this every Sunday morning, and I used to go off on my husband and say, if you don't stop your mama from doing this, me and you gonna have an issue. Boom, 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 boom. Where's my son? You could hear her outside the door because Sunday mornings we wouldn't have nothing on, no TVs or nothing. Sometimes we'll have the gospel music on because we're getting ready for church. Where is my son? Where is my son? Where is he? Are you ready to go? Are you ready to go? Just nasty and vile. Stank attitude. And this a church woman, y'all. Wearing her best church shoes, her church suit, and her church hat. Nasty and vile. But the people at the church believe, oh, she should, hey, you know, we know that sister. She come to church, she be fly. She all nice to us and stuff. She could never be the person that they say she is. You know what I'm saying? You know? She do stuff for the church. She always at the church. She stand up. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Yes, Pastor. Yes. And people believe that that is exactly who they are. They are these church-going people who have their life right. But these church-going people didn't know that she's a nightmare when she's home. She's a nightmare that lives across the street from me. She's a nightmare that comes banging on my door, thinking she runs something around here. And little old me trying not to lose my temper before I go to jail. Don't do it, guys. Please don't. Don't put yourself through that. Don't do it. Especially if y'all have children, they will try to control your children, and they couldn't get their hands on mine. They tried for years to do it. And since they couldn't get their hands on my children, they caused confusion between me and my husband. Because like I said, they would lie and say they care about my children when they really freaking don't. And they knew that my husband, sorry, I just got a message from my brother. They knew that my husband would fall for that. Because with the situation, with the circumstances, it did look like I was keeping the kids from them. Because guess what? I was keeping my kids from them. Like I said, my kids wouldn't go over to their house without me. I had to be very protective over my kids. And had I made the decisions that I've made in my life now back then, I wouldn't even have to worry about that. Because they would never be around my kids, period. And I wouldn't be around them either. You know? Hold on, y'all. My brother's texting me. So when the stuff happened, when the stuff happened, the stuff started happening that forced us to move, I went to live with my mom. My mom was an hour away. Let me tell y'all, that's the best freedom I've ever had. Man, even though I still was dealing with a lot of their foolishness, my husband wound up moving in with them. And his excuse, because I've told him before, those were excuses. His excuse before was because his job um was closer and this, that, and the other. No, it was because he was being controlled, and my husband had this bondage. The umbilical cord was still wrapped in grease and in toil and in demonic stuff. Because I can't say the word I want to say because I can't think of what the word is, but he kept making the excuse that he's taking care of them. We're gonna save money until we can afford to get our own place again. Uh, he doesn't want to, because rightfully so. My mom had a 2-bedroom apartment, so it was kind of tight in there. But people that we know and people that were close to us at the time and stuff were like, you need to move in with your wife. You need to be with your family. Especially people who really truly knew how my in-laws were. They were like, you need to move in with your family. That's not gonna work. You want your marriage to work and you want to get closer to your wife, you're gonna have to let go. And he did, y'all. And boy, when he let go, and that's a subject for another time. When I tell you, have you ever seen a narcissist when they go into narcissistic rage, their head spins around like a demon? Honey. But that's a subject for another time. Anyways, moving on. But I'm gonna end this in a few. I just want to tell you about the freedom that we have now, how we overcame that part. There was a place, and I'm not gonna say where it is. But there was a place that we've always wanted to move to, and it's away from them, far enough that they can't come knock on our door or anything because they don't know where we are or whatever. They think they know, but they don't know. It's funny how things work. We moved to a place that we had been talking about for years, but in my mind, I thought it would never happen. We're just talking about it because you're so enmeshed with your family. You're so stuck and controlled by your family that you'll never leave them. He left them, y'all. He did. We are at peace, man. And it didn't start off that way because they were still trying to get to us through different ways, and I'm going to talk about that another time. But man, the peace that we feel to not have to walk in the grocery store and bump into them, to go anywhere and not bump into them is amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know the torture that we've been through. To see the smiles on my children's faces every day because they're happy and they're away from the favoritism and all that stuff, that and the narcissism, because even my children knew that something was wrong. I remember my oldest said to me, because you think your children don't see what's going on because they're young, but they do see. They're not dumb, they pay attention. And I remember my oldest daughter said to me one day, because I was telling her that we can never go back to their house and you won't see them again. And I was very honest about it. And I didn't want to tell them that, but I had to be honest about it. And my child said to me, Mama, it's okay. I don't want to go back over there anyway. And I said, well, what do you mean? She said, Mama, I saw the way they were hurting you. Now, this is coming out of my child's mouth. This isn't rehearsed. This nobody told her to say this. This is out the blue. She's like, Mama, I saw the way that they treated you. I saw the way that they hurt you. And this is my oldest, and she was there for a lot of the things. A lot of things you try to hide from your kids, but you can't, especially when you living in toxicity. So when my baby said that, I was like, yeah, I think this is the right thing to do. And they're okay. They don't miss them. They don't. They don't even talk about them. How can you talk about people and miss people that weren't trying to be a part of your life? They were just every once in a while trying to be a part of your life. They come to your birthday parties, my children's birthday parties, and you act a fool at my children's birthday and disrespect my children and me and my husband with your drama and your mess. Why would my kids miss you? You never call and check on them. So why they my kids don't even speak on them. Don't ask about them. The people that they do ask about that are in our lives, that's people who's showing that they care and they really love them. My children are happy. I made a good decision. I saved my children heartache and pain. And sometimes you feel stuck when you're going through this type of stuff, but you got to think about your kids. If you have children, if you don't, then concentrate on yourself and what's best for you. But I knew this would be best for me, but I really knew it would be best because I don't want my children growing up normalizing narcissistic abuse and normalizing toxic behavior and thinking that this crap is okay, because it's not. And having people in their life that, you know, that abuse them and this, that, and the other. So we finally moved to that place that we said we wanted to move to, and it's been wonderful. It's different. It's a lot of opportunities out here. We're good. We're good. Me and my husband are working on ourselves and our marriage and spending a lot more time with our children. We have nothing holding us back. We have nothing holding us back. We're good. And that's why I say y'all can be good too, man. You don't have to put up with all that foolishness. It takes time. It's going to hurt. It's going to take a while. It takes a while to heal. I'm still in the healing process. Don't think I fully healed, but I'm better than what I was. I'm still on my healing journey, but I'm so much better than what I was. I don't have those headaches. You know, I'm not dealing with all those sicknesses that I had. Okay, so I'm gonna end this because I'm taking too long and I need to run in this store and get home. This is my ending quote. I'm at a place in life where peace is a priority. I deliberately avoid certain people to protect my mental, emotional, and spiritual health. So y'all, come on, let's protect our mental, emotional, and spiritual health. We don't have to put up with this crap. You can live a happy, free, narcissistic free life. Wives, if you're dealing with a scapegoat husband and his family is causing your life and your marriage to be hell, you can get out of it. Things can change. Husbands, same for you. If you're dealing with a scapegoat wife, okay, and her family is making your life a living hell, man, you can get out of it. You can have a better life. But you're going to have to take the steps in order to get that peace in your life. And it's not easy. And you got to make a lot of hard decisions. You got to leave behind a lot of people. You got to leave behind a lot of things. I've lost a lot of people in my life, and I've lost, well, not even lost. Let me tell you something. It ain't a loss. Because whoever is meant to be here will be here. And the people I have in my life right now are proving to me that they are the roots to my tree. Okay? They're not leaves in my life. They're not branches. They're proving to me that they are the roots. They're proving to my husband that they are the roots. They're proving to my children that they are the roots. Okay? You don't need branches and leaves in your life. Them seasonal people. They're seasonal for a reason. Hold on to the people who are going to be there for a lifetime. Learn the lesson you're supposed to learn from your seasonal folk. And then move on. That's all they are, is to teach you something. That's it. Stop trying to hold on to these seasonal folk, man. And please, 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 please don't move next to them either. Goodness, y'all. But anyways, I hope y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. My day has been blessed. Yesterday was, every day is blessed. Just to be alive is blessed. So I hope you guys are having a blessed day. And don't let nobody else mess up your day, okay? So please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all those things to support me. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. Have a good day. Bye.